Hey everyone! Today we're talking about why learning French can be tricky, especially for English speakers. You know, French, the language of love, yummy croissants, and deep thoughts. It seems so cool until you try to conjugate to be in the past tense. But don't worry, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to explain the top 10 reasons why French can feel like climbing a huge mountain in flip-flops. Why? Because knowing what's hard is the first step to making it easier. So get ready, grab your dictionaries, and let's start this language adventure. First up, pronunciation. French pronunciation can be like walking through a field of landmines. Some letters are silent, they're in the word, but they don't make a sound. And then the same letter, or letters, can sound different in different words. It's confusing. Take the word parlant, it means they speak. You'd think that ent at the end would make a sound, right? Nope, silent. And then there are the nasal vowels. These sounds are special. They're cool, but they're hard to say correctly. Plus, there's linking sounds between words, and vowels that disappear. It's a recipe for pronunciation trouble. Next, we have genders for nouns. In French, every noun is either masculine or feminine. It's like a guessing game. And there are no easy rules, you just have to memorize them. A book is masculine. Why? Nobody knows. But a table is feminine. Again, why? It's a mystery. It can be frustrating, especially when you're trying to make a simple sentence. Now let's talk about verbs. French verbs are super complicated. There are tons of tenses: present, past, future, and many more. And each tense has different endings depending on who's doing the action. Oh, and there are irregular verbs. Verbs like to be and to have their own special rules. And then there are reflexive verbs, where the action is done to yourself, like to wash oneself. These verbs make things even more complicated. We're not done with grammar yet. French grammar has lots of little tricky rules, like adjectives. In English, we say a white house. Easy, right? In French, the adjective has to match the gender and number of the noun. So it becomes une maison blanche. And don't even get me started on where adjectives go. Some go before the noun, some go after. There are rules, but they're confusing. Now let's talk about idioms. French has lots of phrases that don't translate directly into English. They're like puzzles. For example, avoir le cafard literally translates to have the cockroach, but it really means to feel down. These expressions make learning French hard, but also interesting. French also has formal and informal ways of speaking. It's like having two versions of the language. You have to know when to use which one. Use the wrong one, and you might sound rude or too casual. For example, tu is the informal you, while vo is the formal you. It's like the difference between calling your friend dude and calling your boss sir. It can be tricky. Let's talk about spelling. French spelling can be a real headache. The spelling often doesn't match how you say the word. Take the word beaucoup, for example. It means a lot. But you say it beaucoup. Where did the P go? And why are there extra vowels? It's confusing. Now let's talk about culture. Language and culture go together. You can't really understand a language without understanding the culture. And French culture is rich and interesting. To really get French, you need to experience the culture. Watch French movies, listen to French music, read French books. This will make the language come alive. Here's a fun one. False friends. These are words that look the same in French and English but mean different things. They can trick you. Take the word library. It looks like library, right? But it means bookstore. A library is a bibliothèque. Confusing, right? And finally, listening. French people talk fast. They also use contractions and informal speech, which makes it hard to understand. But don't give up. Listening is a skill you can improve. Listen to French podcasts, watch French movies and TV shows, and talk to French speakers. So, those are 10 reasons why French can be hard. But don't let that stop you. Learning any language is a journey. It has good parts and hard parts. Learning French can be really rewarding. Keep practicing and you can overcome these challenges and enjoy the French language. Be patient, be curious, and have fun. Thanks and see you later. French Scene 1, Introduction Narrateur. Salut tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, on va parler des difficultés d'apprendre le français. surtout pour ceux qui parlent anglais. Vous savez, le français, la langue de l'amour, des croissants délicieux et des grandes pensées, qu'a à l'air super jusqu'à ce que vous essayez de conjuguer être au passé simple. Mais ne vous inquiétez pas, je ne suis pas là pour vous faire peur. Je suis là pour expliquer les 10 principales raisons pour lesquelles apprendre le français peut ressembler et escalader une énorme montagne en temps. Pourquoi? Parce que savoir ce qui est difficile, c'est le premier pas pour y arriver. Alors, préparez-vous, prenez vos dictionnaires et commençons cette aventure linguistique.